Alright, I'm back. I did say that I was going to continue the video in the last video, but the last video was like 10 minutes, so I'm home. I'm going to have to kind of refresh what I was doing, but obviously you don't because you have the previous video. So I was creating a bullet and I was needing to pass in a velocity. Right. So that it means that I have to get the animation which way we're facing. So I could get it from the animation, but a quicker, more intuitive way, I suppose, it's more controlled. We can say this dot looking. We usually look to the right because we here in America, at least, we go left to right. So I'm used to going looking right, and we're going to start off with true. We're going to start off looking to the right. And in most games we run to the right instead of the left, so that's also where that comes in. So looking right, we'll go back to our inputs, left and right. So if we press A, looking right will equal false, and if we press D, looking right will equal true, as we are moving left and right then. So now we're able to determine a velocity to input for the bullet. So down here we can say let's just make a vector 2 var vel is equal to new vector 2, and let's just make it 0 0. So let's go ahead and say if we're looking to the right, then velocity is equal vel.x equals let's say 3. Let's make it go about the speed of 3. Of course, you don't want to hard code this in. If you're making something serious, you're going to want to make that into a velocity, a speed of bullet or projectile speed variable. But continuing on, else the velocity.x is equal to -3, so we go into the left. So now we just pass in vel to here, and let's see how it goes. It's broken. Fantastic. So let's figure out why it's broken. I probably forgot to do something. I got to a new connection. That means I have to log into the FTP. This is a partial course on how to use FTP, I suppose. So there we go. So I'm going to press V, and it's stuck. So the reason for this is because we're not applying the velocity. So let's go back into our editor, jump up to the update of the bullet, and say this.rect.x plus equals vel.x, or this.velocity.x. And if we were to add a y, we'd say this.rect.y plus equals this.velocity.y. So now let's check and see if that did the trick. Let's refresh, press V. It's still in place. Let me refresh again to see, make sure. Okay, it's still in place. Now the reason for this is because we have not updated our bullets. So inside of our player update, we're going to want to iterate through our bullets. Let's do it down here below the let's do it after we create it. So after we shoot, we're going to say for var I is equal to 0, I is less than this.bullets.length, and I plus plus. So we say this.bullets I.update. So we'll go ahead and let's try it again. Let me refresh and press V. We got stuck. Let's figure out why. Type error. Update is not a function. Let's make sure we spell it right. Update. Let's go up to our bullets. We did spell it right. So let's see. We go down here. This.bullets.push B. We need to push bullet into the array. So we created a new bullet, and this bullet has to go in. We forgot to change that. So now let's go back. Let's refresh. Get rid of those errors. Press V, and there we go. Projectile flying off the screen. Now you'll notice it's going pretty slow to the left, and that is probably because, yep, we put 1. We need to put 3. By the way, I flashed by that. The velocity.x needs to go to -3 instead of -1. Sorry about that. And there we go. Now we shoot bullets. Now the problem with this is, hey, we have bullets, but they continue going on forever to the infinite existence, and we don't want that, because our array size, if we look here and we say player, let's just type it down here, player.bullets.length. You can see there is 25 bullets right now that are in existence. So we need to delete them as they get off the screen. And we can do that pretty easily by doing another update. There's many ways we can do this. We can just do it straight in here and say, we can make a function for, well, there's many ways, and I'm going to do it this way because I like to make extra functions. So this dot update bullets. And in fact, let's move this outside of here. And let's put this back in the for loop. And let's just cut the whole for loop out. And now let's make this function, update bullets. So let's go down here before, or after shoot, I guess. We'll say this dot update bullets is equal to function. And now paste that in there. First of all, so first we want to update it. Second, we want to, after we update it, so in that same for loop, well, actually let's do it in a separate for loop, and there is a logical reason for this, which may not be so logical if JavaScript takes care of it itself. So the problem is, if we remove that bullet from this array as we're iterating through it, then our I offset is going to be off. It's not a huge problem because, in fact, I will go through it to show you so that even if you make this mistake, you can see what is needed. So we update the bullets, and then we say if this dot bullets I dot rect dot x plus, actually this is going to be pretty big, so let's just say var m is equal to, actually b is equal to this dot bullets, and this dot bullets I. So that way we have a smaller check here. We could say if b dot rect dot width, b dot rect dot x plus the width. So if the x plus the width is less than 0, we want to actually, let's create another variable, so because we're going to do a few checks. So we're going to say var done is equal to false. So we're going to say done is equal to true, and then we're going to say if, or we can say else if b dot rect dot x is greater than the canvas dot width. So when it goes off screen, done is equal to true. And we're going to replicate those. We can just copy this whole thing, paste it down, replace x with y, width with height. So x with y, width with height, and done is true. So if done, we're going to say this dot bullets dot remove at I, and then we're going to break. So no, we're not going to break because we still are iterating through all of them. So this was the problem. So we need to say I, we need to say minus minus I, or I minus minus, same thing. So the reason for this is because, say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullets. So bullet 4 goes, by the way, we count, alright, our counter's at 1, and then we go to 2, then we go to 3, and then 4. Hey, 4 is outside of the array, or is outside of the canvas. So delete 4, right? But, so we delete 4, but we're still, our counter is still at 4. And if it's still at 4, that means our next one is going to be 5. And 5 is going to skip completely this 5 because we deleted 4, and now 5 is at the 4's place. So if we delete it and it goes down, then we're just going to completely skip it and miss that check. So that's why we do the I minus minus. So that being said, we have remove at, which is a function we built into our framework inside of the prototype, remove at, and then we pass a position. So now we remove it once it gets off the screen. So let's check it out and see what we have broken, as I like to say whenever making a program. So I'm going to shoot 3 bullets. 1, 2, 3. All 3 have went off screen, so I'm going to go down here and say player.bullets.length. And you can see the length is 0, and that is because we deleted the bullets from the array as they got off the screen. And that is very important. You must clean up your stuff, otherwise you're going to get so much stuff that continuously calculating, you're going to run out of memory on low-end computers. Or probably not run out of it, but you're really going to slow it down and eventually run it out if never cleaning it up and constantly doing it, especially if you try to do particle effects. So that's very important. That's cleanup, and that's the bullets. So now we can shoot bullets. I'm going to try to shoot a bullet and prove that it's working. So I'm going to say V, click enter. You can see there is 1. So there's 1, and now I'm going to say it again, and it's going to say 0 because it went off screen. So you can see it's working perfectly fine. So there you go. That's it for making, that's a real lesson on arrays. Adding things to an array, deleting it from the array with the prototypes we made, cleaning up, and getting some more interactivity to the game. So I hope you liked it, and until next time.